welcome back, Hunters. I'm the Survivalvis, and we return to Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, where today we are going to continue along with our series and go after, I'm thinking, a desert duo of Seregios and Diablos. There aren't really any other nice thematic sort of pairings left for, like, kind of the general monsters we can go after. And we aren't exactly into the Elder Dragons and, like, the top-tier monster hunts yet. Like, let me just double-check. Yeah, we've got everything there. It's like, if we do check into G4, we do have Valstrax we go for, Seregios, Diablos, Rajang, Tigrex. But they kind of taper off for, like, things up until... Well, we might be able to do Shagaru and Valstrax into one for, like, another thing. But then it kind of tapers off for a few, and then deeper into G4, we have stuff like some of the more specialized monsters and the Elder Dragons. And... okay, yeah, there is just one for a regular hunt, Bractio. So I think what we will do is we'll just keep going kind of through the list and start with Seregios and then go for Diablos too. As again, it's a nice desert duo. They are... fairly... They are kind of dynamic hunts, but they are a little bit different in, like, how you have to mind them, so... Seregios will be the first one. We've already kind of gone over, like, how its light bowgun build can be for Generations Ultimate and that. But I don't think we have to worry too much further with anything specialized. Maybe we'll try to just, like, pair some things up. Like, maybe Tigrex and Rajang will be an episode, Agnactor and Brachydios an episode, and then Valstrax and Shagaru. And that might be a good pairing there to work with. Okay. No Seregios here, so I'm thinking maybe we have to go back up to the other big desert area. Because I believe in this version of the desert, he spawns out in one of these big open sand areas. But I think Seregios is... it's a monster that's a little more show than actual danger it presents. Like, when we get into the fight, you guys will see all kinds of stuff going on. Oh, no, not here either, eh? Oh. I'm not sure where Seregios has started off, then. Unless maybe it did start here. And I was too slow trying to find it here. We'll just do a little lap around and see if we can come across it. Oh. Well, it was right here. Okay, so, where are you heading off to? Oh, it looks like it's going right back to where we were. I do have the same... build as last time with the Pierce and Haphazard to it. I'll probably keep using that for a lot of the episodes to come forward. We are kind of at the point where you want more of a decent meta build, so that way hunts don't take quite too long. Well, this is Seregios. I want to say Death by 1,000 Blades, but it's like Death by 1,000 Cuts is like how this monster sort of is sold as. Because of all the blade skills that it can shoot out and use. It's heavily known for the bleed effect that it applies. I'm trying to think if Seregios was the first monster to have bleed effect, or it was something else that was given it. I think Seregios was the first, and Adogron is the one that I think more people would be a bit more familiar with applying it. But yeah, Seregios, because of its movement patterns, it can be a little hard to read getting the shots going to the right positions. But it is pretty easy to avoid much of what he does. And there's not really a way, I think, of reducing the scales too much for, like, what do get thrown out your way. I can't remember if the part breaks actually do, like, diminish the power of the scales that, like, he'll fling out, or they don't. I think for much Seregios' weak spots, they are actually his back legs. Oh, what? How did that? Okay, well, that's why we bracked the dung bombs, but I'm kind of surprised that that did get me. Because I thought I was, unless maybe it registered as like it was a back hit rather than a front on. Certain attacks where like they are aimed at the hunter and they land right on top of your position do seem like they sometimes are a little bit misread for like... Oh, gotta be careful. It misreads a little bit of like if it's a front hit or a back hit. Yeah, I'll just run for some distance out. Okay, and that's Seregios changing areas. Not too bad for first encounter so far. We'll have to mind, like, the sweeping, or the swoop-in. And I'm thinking... it's probably going to the other large desert area. I don't think it's actually going down to that path where it goes into that, like, desert, or the cave nest. As you can tell, I maybe played a little too much Monster Hunter to, like, do know offhand some of the routes that monsters take and such. But yeah, I shouldn't be coming down here, because I think it was too much to the right of, like, this location on the map. But I think Seregios can come here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there it is. Gonna have to wait for him to... I was going to say hobble his way over, but he seems to want to make a lot of noise before making the approach. Yep, perfect. That'll give us a chance to get some good shots in at the back legs. So it's... all four limbs can be, like, have a part break. The tail can be cut off. And that big horn on top of his head can also be broken. Oh, speaking of, there it goes. Now I'll just keep getting some distance out. Yeah, that's my problem about Seregios, is it's kind of hard to read where he's going to land from where you think he should. It's like he does a lot of these little, like, side swoops or little... I'm trying to think of how to describe them. Oh, there's a part break. Like, yeah, we've seen this before. It's the slow, really built-up attacks you always need to watch out for in Monster Hunter. It's pretty good at making those the most dangerous, and you knowing they're going to be the most dangerous. Now you're going to... Yeah, you're going to sweep over, so that means you're going to try that, and then, yeah, you think he's going to drop straight down, but he seems to, like, drop into the left or right of where he's positioned. And it looks like with having broken his horn, some of the scales are only individual ones being shot out rather than, like, the little mix of, like, 3 or 4. As you do break down parts, you do thin out the numbers that are sent your way. So as much as he doesn't gain, like, certain attack reductions... Oh, there's another part break. I think that might have been to his opposite rear leg. Yeah, I think the flurry is, it usually sends out 4, and then each one that, like, procs in a hit Oh, there we go. Got a stamina reduction. Like, again, it's been a lot of these big showy attacks, but not all that much has really connected to be a threat. And with him out of stamina, we'll see if maybe I can get... well, not really a mount. Although, you know what? If I could get a mount, I'd actually take it, too. Oh, there's a part break on the one wing. Yeah, I want to see if I can actually get that tail cut off, too. It's very rare in games that I do get the tails cut off for, like, gunning. So if I can, I usually try to include it. And having started in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite and Monster Hunter 3 Try being, like, my first multiplayer, I know there's been that... it's pretty old news now about, like, Devil Joe doesn't eat its own tail. But I've never remembered him doing that. But that's likely also because, as a gunner, I was never really... focused on getting that tail off because I had no means of really doing so. Slicing shot on its first introduction was very poor for effect. It's only with... actually, truthfully, I think it's really only... oh, there we go. I think it really only has been when World brought it forward that slicing had, like, more actual utility out of itself. Oh, careful. Yeah, he's ticked off, so it's probably going to mind that one. Oh, there we go. Knocked him down again. Oh, shoot. Didn't realize I used up that much ammo already. Oh, yeah, that was dumb of me. I should have just held through the Valor mode that I had going. And I was talking about the bleed effect, so this is in play right now. Now, unfortunately, because Seregios really has it out for me, I'm not really having a good opportunity to... okay, there we go. It wore off. What you basically have to do is try crouching and standing still. As if, like, letting the blood clot. So that way that heals it off. It can be difficult to do, though, when you do have the monster's primary targeting being at you. Now, and there's the... now, I'm not sure if, like, the bleed effect gets diminished when it's, like, only the one scale, because it still has, like, the, subsequent blade or, like, burst effect goes off on a hit. Now, let's heal up, because we are a bit low. And I'll just keep going for some distance, try to get this prepped. Oh, there we go. He's limping. Yeah, nothing really going to connect there, but... I'll try to keep an eye on where he flies off to. And let's snag the tail, since we did manage to get that carved off. And Impaler Plus. I think that's basically just the... Oh. Stinking Apsaros. Always causing problems. I'm surprised how much bravado the small monsters are given, but I'm so glad that that's been refined through the series going forward. Because they've always been more nuisance than anything. Okay, my thinking is... He was coming down this way, so he might have gone to the nesting area that's just over in the corner here. So we'll try to go in there and just get these last shots in that's needed. Because one thing about G-Rank is once the monsters do show like they're limping, I feel like the thresholds are different across the ranks. Like, you'll see the low rank limp more at like 25%, maybe the high rank at 20%, and this one maybe like 10% or less. It just always feels like G-Rank, as soon as you see the limp, there's really not much more left to go for the monster compared to the other ranks. Oh, okay, going after Natalie, so that gave me a moment there at least, but... Now, I honestly think... Pierce does have some utility against Seregios, but because the back legs are the weakest spot, I kind of think perhaps this is another monster where the normal build might be a better one for it. Because then you're getting, like, heavier impact directly at that weak spot, rather than just, like, these little glancing bits of the Pierce getting through. But, still gets the job done. Yeah, Seregios is still a really cool monster. I do feel like the Sunbreak introduction did neuter him a little bit for, like, the effects that he used to give. Because, like, all of his weapons had a built-in, it would either sharpen on every dodge or reload a shot in every roll. But I think they changed that so that way it's like an armor skill now called Blade Scale in Sunbreak, so it doesn't have the same ease of use compared to other ones. And I guess we'll just pass some time taking care of these. Yeah, still not down, is it? No. There we go. Yeah, so that was Seregios, and now we'll go after Diablos. With any of the Adept or Valor style, Diablos is a super simple monster just to tackle. Very easy to read his choreography, very susceptible to... Oh. That's... Again, I think the effects might be a little over-exaggerated, considering we can't even see the Seregios, the head through that. There we go. That's all away and in order. And we'll save there. And then quickly stock up and go for Diablos, because it should be another very quick fight. So I'll talk to the market keeper. Get that in. What else? That, and you know what? Get me the paint. I've always been meaning to have that actually brought along, but I never have, and that's been a very dumb thing on my part. That should be good. I think we will just take... I don't really need to use the stakes, but we'll take anyway just in case. And some dung bombs, not that they'll have any use in this hunt. Well, that'll set us up pretty well to just have a nice little meal and then embark. And we're not going to get any special eating bonus. Yeah, I've got Bulldozer, which isn't really going to help, but that's alright. Okay, let's go for the Twin Horns on the Sand. It's right back to the same map, but Diablos, which I'm actually expecting we're probably going to see Diablos back in Wilds. Like, it's a monster that anytime there's a desert, it's always been included in the series, for better or worse, just because I feel like it'd be nicer to have it so there'd be some other sand-dwelling wyverns or sand-dwelling monsters, but it's been with the series, I think almost every iteration of the game has had Diablos in it. Monster Hunter 1, 2, Freedom Unite, 3, Portable Third, 3 Ultimate, 4 Ultimate, Generations Ultimate, World and Iceborne, Rise and Sunbreak. I'm surprised it gets brought back as much as it has, to be honest, but I guess it's because it just... There you are. Fills that slot so well for the series, where it's just big, desert-dwelling desert-dwelling flying wyvern. It'd be nice to actually see an entry of the series where it's not present, just because it's had so much time to shine and be present compared to, like, some other monsters that... I mean, granted, don't fill this quite the same power level slot, but there's things like Nibble Snarf or Sandbarrioth. Like a Sandbarrioth, you don't want a subspecies as much as, like, a distinct, proper species on its own, but still. Whee, right through ya. Yeah, the Valor mode just kind of trivializes this fight so much, because all you gotta do is basically pop that as soon as he starts looking your way, and you're completely safe and fine. Case in point. That's why I've said before, when it comes to Valor and Adept style, they feel somewhat mandatory in the game. Just because of, like, some of the damage values and such that go off more. Because it could be different if the other styles, like, say, Striker and Guild, gave you, like, something else as a bonus. But aside from giving you better access to the hunting style, or hunting art, no, hang on. The hunting arts, that's what they are. It's the hunting styles and arts. They don't really give anything compared to all the utility you get from using Valor or Adept. Like, we did talk about Alchemy. You could get, like, some... not exactly, like, meta or all that great of use from it, but you can kind of get, like, a support role, almost, for the hunt. Yep, and got enraged just before it started to go under. Whee, right through. Yeah, I'm trying to get the horns broken first on them. Because usually once the first one goes, the second one's not too far behind it. And then the tail should... it might take a little bit for the tail, but I still think we'll be able to get that off as well. As you can see, it's just a lot of back and forth, back and forth. I mean, slowly it does eat into your health pool. But compared to how long it takes for that to happen to get you into danger, you're pretty safe for quite a while. Yeah, there's the first horn gone. Yeah, Natalie, you're kind of slow on the uptake there. And you can see now we've gotten a fair ways of our health taken down just because of all the attacks we've been blocking with that. I guess deflecting or parrying, it's not exactly a full proper block. Yeah, we'll keep on it and see how we go. Again, I told you guys it'd be pretty quick. We aren't exactly hitting the weak point going for the horns, but we are staying alive and getting a lot of damage out, so we might see in a little bit of time, and it won't be too much longer. Hey, good. Get the Cephalos out of the sand, little buggers. And just use that. Oh, knocked him over. Oh, enraged? Yeah. Yeah, if Diablos ever pops out of the sand, like, immediately after it's gone under like that, it's a pretty safe bet that it's enraged, and that's why. Yeah, it's going to dodge right underneath them. And then just wait on this. Yeah, I gotta be careful about the stamina usage there, because that got pretty close to the effect wearing off. Well, thank you for the heal. And just a lot of back and forth, back and forth. Kind of makes me wish I had brought armor with a cape along, just so that way it really is like a bullfight with a Matador, just getting charged over and over and over at us. But where is that trap that they put down? Why is it all the... Oh, you stinking stupid cats. Like, I'm thankful for the trap, but it is so far out from where we actually have been fighting it. Like, yeah, it's way over here. Okay, good thing, too, is... gives us plenty of time to get these shots in here. Come on, keep that big club still. Oh, there we go. Tails off. Might even be able to use the slicing to break that other horn off, too. Oh, look at that pretty purple eye. Gonna turn red in just a moment once it's ticked off. Actually, I have to thank that Cephalos there. I think... it probably wouldn't have been a very heavy-hitting attack, because I think the damage does weaken from Diablos' strikes. Ah, God, stupid Cephalos. Yeah, come on, that horn's got to be close to breaking off at this rate. There we go. Yeah, we just got to pepper in the last shots until Diablos is done. Yeah, I know I messed that up. Leave me alone. Okay. Now we just want to go for underbelly and leg hits. And that won't be too long before Diablos is toast. I mean, it's a nice thematic fight where it does feel like you're fighting this giant bull dragon. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, he's just going to that area, so I didn't even have to worry about using a paint shot there. Ah, stupid. I hate the little guys. Like, Cephalos and Cephadrome are some of the series' worst annoyance monsters. And it'd be nicer if the cats could be a little more damaging, at least against small monsters, to clear them out faster, but unfortunately... the small guys are actually tankier than you'd expect in G Ultimate, or Generations Ultimate. I know they are G-rank things, but they still will take a fair few shots with bow guns and that. Yeah, there you are, snoozing away. And here we are to ruin your day. Well, ruin it even further. Guess I have to imagine it's not been going too well for it. Just gonna see if I can try to get rid of the Vespoids before... there we go. They proved to be too much trouble for us. Hey! You can leap and so can I. And just do that. There we go. Diablos taken down. The fight's really never changed all that much in its iterations. I'm not sure if it's just because, again, it's such an easy one to implement across generations to fill out the roster, but I kind of like to see Diablos take a break for a little bit. Just to get something else having to be made up that helps it expand into other stuff. Like, even if it's not a flying wyvern for the desert, something else. Like, we are seeing, there's been Nibblesnarf in the past of, like, a desert-dwelling Leviathan. There's Valahara coming in wilds. We know Raydao is on its way. I'm wondering if maybe that's kind of the slot Raydao will fit, or... they're still trying to figure stuff out like that, but I just hope we don't see Diablos again. I could use a break from them. I'm trying to think if it's actually... I think probably the three most common monsters seen across Monster Hunter are Rathalos, Rathian, and Diablos. Because I think they've been in every entry. But yeah, that's that one done. That brings our week of Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate to a close with that hunt. We've still got a... ooh, looks like we smacked them good just on that... chop there? Not really sure what you would call that, like, extra bit to them. But that's those rounded out. We've got plenty of G4 hunts still ahead. We haven't even cracked into the Elder Dragons still to come. And I'm sure there's a lot of favorites in there for people to see when we get to them too. For now, though, we are at a great spot to end everything off. There we go. So, thank you all very much for joining me on this episode of Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a like. And if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure to leave the comments right down below. Until I see you all in the next video episode, Hunters and Survivors, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting.